Welcome to your practice. We're going to start in a seated position on the mat. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling. Resting your palms on your lap. Feel the length of your spine as you breathe in. Exhale to release and soften the shoulders. As you inhale, feel the crown of the head lift up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, feel the two sit bones rooting down into the ground. Feel the belly soften and expand as you breathe in. And exhaling, nice long exhale through the nose. Let's take another few more breaths here in your own time. And then we're going to start our seated cat-cow. So bring the hands down, and as you inhale, opening the chest, lift your gaze up to the ceiling. And then exhale, rounding through the spine, send your gaze to your belly button. Breathing in, open the chest, tilting forward. And then exhale, rolling onto your tailbone, gaze goes down to your belly button. Breathing in, opening the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. And then coming back to a seated position. We're going to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then if you want to intensify the stretch, just gently placing the right hand onto the side of your head, applying a little bit of pressure. And if you want to get into a different part of your neck, you can just turn to point your head down. And then reaching that left hand away along the floor. Gently release that hand, come back to the center, and then dropping the left ear to the left shoulder. Same as before, if you want to intensify it slightly, then you can start to bring that left hand round to the side of your head. Gently applying a bit of pressure. And then maybe turning your head to point down towards your shoulder. And then reaching that right hand away. And then releasing, come back to the center. We're going to drop the chin towards the chest and just lengthening and stretching through the back of the neck. You can place both of your hands on the back of your head here if you want to make it a little bit more intense. And softening through the elbows. They're nice and heavy. From here, bring the hands together in prayer center, resting the thumb knuckles onto your collarbones and the index fingers under your chin, and then leaning the head back, sending your gaze up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lovely. Bring yourself back to a neutral spine, hands to prayer center. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. And then wiggling forward, coming to find tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then inhale, lift up your right hand. Exhale, threading it under your left arm, coming into a nice twist. And then inhale, reaching back up to the sky. Exhale, we come back down to a twist. See if you can reach the hand a little bit further. Lovely. And then inhale, reaching the arm back up towards the ceiling. This time we're going to come all the way down and just stay here. So resting that shoulder down to the ground. Bring your right cheek down to the mat. You can stay here if you want, or if it feels good, then you can reach the left hand forward, bringing the palm down to the ground. Another option is perhaps extending the left leg and curling the toes under for a calf stretch. And then maybe reaching that leg up for a balance. From here, I'm going to bring the left leg round to meet the right hand. Again, these are all optional. And then maybe coming into a bind, reaching that left hand behind your back, grabbing hold of the right hip bone. Breathing in. Exhaling, lovely. Bring your right hand back round to the center. If you didn't go for this variation, then just come back to tabletop and bring your left leg out towards the side. Inhale, arch the spine, lift your gaze. And then exhale, rounding through the spine, getting into those inner thighs. Lovely, come back to a neutral position. Bring that left leg back to the center. And then inhale, lifting up that left arm. Exhale, thread that hand underneath, reaching it away. Inhale, reaching it back up to the sky. Exhale, reaching away. A little bit further. And then inhale, lifting, reaching back up. Exhale, reach the hand away and then bring your left shoulder and left cheekbone down to the ground. Find a comfortable position. And again, you can either stay here if this feels good, or if you have more space, reach that right hand forward. Maybe that turns into extending the right leg behind. Lifting up that leg. And then bringing it round to the side, bringing the sole of the feet down to the ground, pressing into the knife edge of that foot. And then if it feels good, bringing that right hand behind your back and grabbing hold of the left hip crease. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, lovely. Bring your hands back down to the ground. Come back up to tabletop with your right leg extended out to the side. Inhale to arch the spine, lifting the gaze, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, round through the spine. Send your gaze to your belly button. Lovely, come back to that neutral position. Bring both legs together, curl the toes under and lifting up to downward facing dog. Check in with the feet, hip width distance. Inhale, roll forward to find a plank. And then exhale, we're going to send it back to downward facing dog. Now you can make a little ripple here through the spine if that feels good. Rolling to plank. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. One more of those. Breathing in, roll through the spine, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhaling to bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale to re-extend. And then from here, placing the foot on the outside edge of the right hand, coming into lunge. You can drop your back knee here if that feels good. Inhale to press into the floor. And then exhale, rounding through the spine. Now, if you have more space here, then you can come down to your forearms. Or even use blocks like me, where you bring the ground a little bit closer. And see if you can drop your head, keeping the neck nice and relaxed. From here, coming back up onto your hands. And then from here, reaching that right arm high, take a deep breath into a spinal twist. And then framing that right leg, we're going to step it back to find plank, squeezing the thighs together, option drop the knees, and then lower the chest all the way down to the ground. Inhale to lift up to cobra, keeping the glutes nice and engaged. And then exhale, send it all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, we re-extend, closing the hips. We're going to place the left foot on the outside edge of the left hand. Again, option to drop your back knee down to the ground. From here, inhale, lifting up the chest, pull the collarbones forward, and then we're going to round through the spine, dropping the head. Again, you can come down to your forearms if you have that kind of space, or bring the ground closer to you by using your yoga props. Keeping the neck relaxed and the jaw soft. Come back up onto your hands. And then from here, inhale, lift up that left arm. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, framing that left leg, wiggle the foot to the center, step it back to find your plank. And then exhale, lower the chest all the way back down to the ground. From here, coming into a back bend, inhale, lifting up the chest and shoulders. Hovering the hands, squeeze the glutes, lift the kneecaps. Breathing in. Exhaling, lovely. Lower the chest down and then send it up, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Re-extend. Gently place that foot on the inside edge, coming down to low lunge. Inhale, sweep both arms high. Soft shoulders, and then bringing the palms to the back of your neck. Squeeze the biceps towards the ears. Open the chest and leaning forward. And making sure that that left glute is switched on here to protect your lower back. Inhaling. Exhale, lean back. Lovely. Gently release. Bring your hands down onto the inside edge and then wiggle the right foot further out to the side. Lift up your back knee and then walk your fingers towards the left corners. We're going to come into an open lizard pose. Breathing in. From here, we're going to bring the hands back down to the ground. Right foot is still on the outside edge, lifting up to triangle and coming into a leopard transition. So coming forward to low lunge. And then as you exhale, drop the chest and shoulders. Inhale to lift almost like an upward dog. And then exhale back to triangle. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Exhale, drop the chest and shoulders. Inhale to lift. Exhale back. Beautiful. And then bending into that front leg, frame the foot, step it back to find your plank. Lower the chest all the way down. From here, interlacing your hands behind your back, squeeze the thighs together, then coming into lotus pose, so lifting up the chest and the knees. See if you can keep the feet around hip width distance, squeezing those thighs together. Bring the hands back under the shoulders, lower the chest, and then coming back to downward facing dog. Inhale to lift up your left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. And then inhaling to re-extend, place the foot in between the hands, low lunge, and drop your back knee. Inhale to sweep your arms high. Place the hands together in prayer center and then pressing the thumbs just gently onto the back of the neck, lifting the elbows up to the sky, squeezing the glutes. And then if you have the space, maybe you sit into those hips and open the chest, lifting up and out of the waist. Breathing in, exhaling. Lovely. Inhale, extend the arms. We're going to place the hands on the inside edge, wiggle that left foot out, and then lifting up your back knee, reaching the hands over towards the right corner, coming into that lizard, open lizard. Dropping the hair, dropping the shoulders, soften the jaw, take a deep breath in. Exhaling. One more breath. And then coming back up onto your hands, keeping the left foot on the outside edge and lifting up to triangle pose. From here, we're going to bend into that left knee again for our leopard transition. So coming forward, low lunge, dropping the chest and shoulders, and then inhale to lift, gentle back bend. Exhale, send it back, triangle pose. Inhale, come forward. Lovely. Opening up the chest and shoulders, and then exhale, send it back, triangle pose. Rebend into that front leg, wiggle the left foot in between your hands, step it back to find your plank, squeeze the thighs, lower the chest all the way down to the ground. From here, again, interlacing the fingers, coming into locust pose, lifting up the chest and shoulders. And then gently release. We're going to bend the right knee, grabbing hold of the foot from the outside edge. This is too much, then just come back to locust pose. The left palm is facing down. From here, swapping over, bending that left knee, letting go of the right leg. Inhale to lift, keeping the thighs switched on, knees nice and close. And then gently release. Bring your hands under your shoulders and then coming back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting up your right leg. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Optional wild thing here. Otherwise, just staying in your split dog. And then from wild thing, gently bring that leg up and round. We're going to come into high lunge. Inhale to lift your arms, and then the right hand is going to come down to your low back. Left arm reaches high. Deepen that bend in the front leg. Gentle open twist. Option to slide that right hand further down your leg if you want to go into a deeper back bend. Lovely. From here, we're going to come round nice and slowly to our warrior two. And from our warrior two, we're going to lift up the right hand high, left hand down low, coming into a bind behind our back. Fingers can reach if we're not in that bind, and then coming into a reverse warrior. Lovely. From here, release your warrior, find warrior two. Extending the front leg, shorten the stance, flip your palms, and then coming into your Trikonasana triangle pose. We're going to circle that left arm round to the back of the room a couple of times. Nice big circles. See if you can really open that chest. Lovely. And then from here, bring your hands down to the ground, frame your front leg, step it back to find plank, and then exhale, lower the chest. All the way down to the ground. From here, we're going to do our full boat pose. So both legs together, squeeze the thighs, inhale to lift the chest. Again, if that's too much, come into locust pose. Breathing in. Gently release. Hands under the shoulders, send it up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Optional wild thing again, or you can stay in your split dog. Breathing in. And then from here, we're going to bring that left leg round in between the hands. Low lunge, and then inhale to lift up. High lunge. Lovely. Bringing that left hand round to your low back. Right arm lifts up nice and high. Open twist. And again, you can slide that left arm down a little bit further if you want to deepen the back bend. From here, we're going to come round to warrior two, reaching the left arm high and then the right arm down low, creating that bind. Inhale, open the chest, and then exhale, lean back, reverse the warrior. Inhale, gently release the arms, come back to warrior two, lengthening through the front leg, flip the palms, back toes are pointing to the side, and then Trikonasana, left hand reaches down, top arm comes all the way around to the front, circling through the shoulders. Leaning back, and then from here, frame your front leg, step it back to plank, exhale, lower the chest all the way down. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. And we're going to step all the way to the back of the mat, coming into a forward fold, bend the knees, hands to hips, and with a long spine, come up to standing. Interlace the fingers, reach them up to the ceiling, and we're going to step the right leg forward, transferring all the way onto that right leg, nice and slowly. Fingers reach to the front of the room, and we come to our Virabhadrasana 3, capital T position, rolling that left thigh in, reaching the fingers forward and the toes to the back of the room. From here, coming back up to standing, and then squeezing that left knee into your chest. Gently release. Lovely. Come back to the back of the mat. Sweep your arms high, interlace the fingers. Step the left leg forward, transfer the weight. Feel your fingers reaching to the front of the room and your toes pulling you back. Lengthening the body. Roll that right thigh in. And then bring that right knee up to your chest. Squeeze to the shoulder. Gently place that foot down to the ground. Step to the front of the mat now. Place your feet slightly wider than hip width distance. Turn the toes out. Coming down to Yogi Squat Malasana. Hands to prayer, elbows on the inside edges of the thighs. Pull the chest forward. Breathing in. And then we're going to do a little bit of internal and external rotation with the knees. So tapping one knee down at a time using your hands. Again, I'm demonstrating hands free if you feel confident and your hips feel good, but keep your hands down to the ground if you want extra support. And don't worry if you don't have a lot of internal rotation. Just do what you can and what feels good in the hips. And then coming to find stillness, we're going to slowly transfer our weight onto our sit bones. You can always go to one side here. Otherwise, gently come down, grab hold of your thighs, lifting up your toes, Navasana. Option to stay here in modified version. Otherwise, if you're joining me, exhale, come down to low dish, and then inhale to rise. Exhale down for 2. Inhale to lift, last one, exhale down. Inhale, lift. And then from here, bring your feet down to the ground, getting ready for your seated twist. So you can have the left leg long or you can bend it, bringing the right leg over the top. So I'm just demonstrating both options here. And then from here, the right hand comes down to the ground behind your right sit bone, and you can either hug that right knee into your chest or you can hook it for a slightly deeper twist. Press your right hand down to the ground, pull your chest towards your thigh, and maybe gaze to the back of the room. From here, slowly unravel, bring yourself back round to the center, changing legs over so the left knee is bent, knees in the chest. You can also extend or bend the right knee. Left hand behind your low back. Inhale, reach your right arm. And then exhale, hugging or hooking that knee. Find a twist here through the thoracic spine. Keep your shoulders nice and soft, and maybe your gaze goes to the back of the room. From here, slowly unravel yourself to face the front of the room. Feet go to hip width distance. Shuffle your hips forward, reach the fingers, round through the spine, slowly rolling all the way down to the ground. And then shoulders relax. Extending the legs, feet slightly wider than hip width distance. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then a big sigh. Palms facing the ceiling. The back of the neck is nice and long. Take a deep breath in. Opening the mouth, exhaling. Coming towards the end of our practice, if you have more time, then I would suggest staying in Shavasana for a little bit longer. Otherwise, finishing with me, bringing the hands together in prayer. Namaste.